Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I will be updating you guys on all of our plants outside because I have been saying that I want to update you guys for the past like 3 or 4 videos because our plants looking super good. And we will also be sowing some seeds that finally arrived for us today, guys. And do you want to know what they are? They are Drosera regii, Drosera filiformis, and Drosera rotundifolia. So we finally have our little seeds of Drosera regii ready to grow with us again, guys. So let's start the video. I don't want you back. So if you're new to this channel, we have been growing our carnivorous plants now for about 5 or 6 months. It really depends really, but we have been growing them all, and as you can see, they grow outside in heaven out there. So we have been growing them now, and they sprouted for us, and we obviously planted and sowed them all together. You can see all those old videos before, and it has been a while since I have done an update, and also it has been winter, so these guys haven't grown that much at all. But spring is literally about 1 or 2 weeks away. That means that it's getting sunnier, it's getting warmer, and that also means that our plants are starting to grow super well now. And I really can't wait to show you guys how they look. Now, before we go outside, I do want to let you guys know what actually happened with our Drosera regis that we had previously, because some of you newer subscribers might not actually know what happened. So about a month ago, I had a little pot of Drosera regii. And in this pot, we had 2 little regii seedlings busy growing, and they were doing really well until they just stopped growing. I don't know what happened to them, but I do think that we may have overfed them and actually killed them, because carnivorous plants don't actually like getting too much fertilizers, but Drosera regii, they don't mind getting a little bit, but I completely forgot that and I fed them way too much, guys. So I do think that's what happened. And eventually the seeds or seedlings, what happened is that they literally died. They rotted away, and we tried to save them, but we couldn't. We moved them inside of the house. We put them somewhere sunny and much warmer, but it was literally way too late for them. And after that happened, I ended up very luckily finding some Drosera regii seeds online all the way from Europe. They are now here. It took about a month or so because the postal systems are so slow right now. And I don't blame them, but we finally have it. So once we finish with the updates of all of our plants growing outside in heaven, as you guys can see, we will then start planting our Drosera regii seeds and all of the other seeds that we have got in this package. So let's go check out the plants. Okay guys, and this will be the first plant that I update you guys on. This is our Drosera adelaide, the same one that was eaten by cats, that has traveled around the world with us, that then sprouted in water and all those other things that has happened to it that we've spoken about before. And then recently, about 2 days ago, it fell on the floor. It was up here on top of there, but the wind was so strong that it literally fell over. And the thing is that there were seeds there, and I don't know where they went, but luckily, very luckily, I was able to find the sprouts that we had. This is obviously the first one, the biggest one. The second one back there. And we have a third sprout over here, which you can barely see. But I was very lucky that I was actually able to find the sprouts, you know, in and amongst all the moss that had fallen all over the floor here. You can see some pieces. I actually took a little bit of a video clip for you guys that I'll play right now. Guys, check what happened. So this little, here, our little pot of Drosera adelaide, ironically it's them again, that usually sits up here, who's been fine for like 4 months, was knocked over, and all of the soil has obviously, as you can see, fallen out. Some fell in there, some fell in the water, have been taken out. So we had 3 little babies. I've only been able to find 2. One's there and there. I need to look through the rest to find the other little baby. But now the whole little ecosystem that we had is all fucked up. I'm quite upset, but let me see if I can fix this up a little bit. Okay guys, so I've just finished putting it up. I brought our sphagnum that we were keeping inside, like moistened up and everything, so luckily we had it. But I did manage to find all 3 little seedlings, Here's the first one, the biggest one. And here in the back is that second one that we saved from the fungus nets. And right down here is the third one. You guys cannot see it. But yeah, luckily, very luckily, I was able to find all of them. And very luckily as well, not much of the sphagnum moss was taken away or whatever happened. And there's still quite a bit in the water here, which this obviously really sucks, but at least we still have it. And as I said, ironically, it's our Adelaide again. This plant has gone through so much, even before it was even born, like even before it was a seed. Its parents had gone through so much as well, guys. So I'll be leaving it down here for now. And we also have some Drosera admirabilis busy sprouting over here, so we need to move them both somewhere else. But we'll get to that in a second. So yeah, as you guys can tell, this poor little guy has literally gone through a lot. It's literally been eaten by cats. Its flowers have been cut off too early. All the seeds fall into water. It's come around the world with us. It's been in the fridge for like a year. It's sprouting now. It's been knocked over off of this ledge over here, and it's still going strong, guys. So these guys are super, super tough. These are still all of our seeds that are yet to sprout. One pot sprouted. I've moved it outside now. We'll see it now. And these are our tuberous drosera that we got from our subscriber Wretched Davian that are busy germinating still. You may see some sprouts over here, but that's just grass, because if you remember, we didn't actually clean out the seeds of these Drosophilum Seedlings because those seeds are so tiny. I had no idea what was what. But this is just some grass coming up, so not actually carnivorous plants. But yeah, this is just the update on our Drosera Adelaide over here. It's getting some good size now. Let's go now and look at all the other plants out there. So today is actually a really, really nice day, guys. As you can see, it's very, very sunny. And there's like no clouds in the sky. Just a couple. And it's a warm day as well. Like I said, spring is coming. So it is very, very warm, and it's not windy at all. And the neighbors aren't sanding down their house or whatever they're doing. So today's a very good day for an update. So now let's turn around this camera and let's look at all of our plants. So first off, here are our Venus flytraps, which we have been growing together for a while now. They're starting to come out of dormancy now, and you can really tell that by the bigger traps busy developing. And this one you can't really tell, but they come out of dormancy when springtime comes around. So that's the way to tell. If it's becoming springtime, they're coming out of dormancy. It's that simple. Here are all of our little Detricularias that you can barely see because they live underground. But up here, these are the things that I want you guys to see. Look at how much mass there is on our tuberous droseras. These guys are growing so well, and of course they are flowering. These guys don't flower for that long. Each flower is only open for a couple hours per day. So seeing different species flowers open right now is really, really nice. And I'll just show you guys a view from the top here. Very, very nice flowers. And as you can see, our Drosophilum macrantha at the back there, and then Zisia up here, all making flowers as well. Another macrantha at the back. Here's Andersoniana here flowering. Modesta at the back, Arames, Pallidas. And here are the other tubers that I'll talk about now. Here we have Rupicola. Looks really, really good. Graniticola over here, very, very light pink salmon colored stems, making some super, super tiny flowers just up here, not open yet. Here is Stolonifera, nice thick stem, and this one here at the back actually has two stems coming out the middle. Here is our colonnade, sorry, with its very flat rosetted leaves. The second one up there, and here is Drosera platypoda as well. Lots and lots of insects on them. So these tuberous Drosera, they will start flowering now, and then hopefully they will set some seeds if they get pollinated, and then as springtime comes around they will slowly start to die out. Some of these other guys, they will actually start growing more now. Like for example this colonnade and this platypoda. These guys may start actually growing a little bit more now and then flower later on in the season. But essentially, when the middle of summer hits, all of these guys should be asleep. So yeah, it's just great to see that there is differences in growth rates for these guys, even within their growing season, which is around winter time. Here are all of our other plants, basically like the temperate guys or the subtropical guys. Here we have our spatulatas. This pot is nearly completely full. I actually need to repot all these guys and actually sell them. I want to start selling these guys to everyone here in Australia, because there's very few places that actually sell drosera, so it'd be great to share these with everyone here in Australia. Here's one of our drosera venustas, our banata, which I identified by seed. It is a banata. Some more venusta. You really know it's drosera venusta by the way in which their leaves unfurl. So there's only one example, but there is another one back here somewhere. Now I can't find it right now, but we'll get to it. The way that they unfurl is that their leaves stay pretty flat. If you compare it to, let's say, this natalensis over here, you see the leaves are quite rounded. But if you look at this one back here, the leaf is quite flat and elongated as they unfurl. So that is quite an interesting thing that you can see with them. Here's the cuneifolia. These are supposed to be hilarious, but I don't think they are. I think they're just more natalensis, unfortunately. And here are some drosera trinervias, looking nice and red. Yeah, essentially that's all for these guys. But here are our different sarracenias. Sarracenia purpureas, tons of sprouts. You guys can see them almost everywhere, little sprouts. And here are some Sarracenia flava. Tall pitches coming up there. I do want to fertilize them, but I'd like most of them to start actually putting up pitches before I fertilize them. And over here are our little Darlingtonians. We have tons of little baby Darlingtonians here. It's incredible to have so many. I'm so glad that we have so many of these guys. Now let's move over to this tray. All of these here are all Drosera capensis red. These guys are super healthy. They need to be repotted as well, and I'll sell them too. And here are some nice Aliciaes. Nice and red. Some more capensis Bainscliffe here at the back. Some more Aliciaes. And these little guys here are all the South American Drosera that we put the tinfoil on to try to keep them colder. And this little pot here of Admirabilis is actually those seeds that sprout that I spoke of earlier, that I moved from under the porch. Some more capensis at the back. And here are some young Drosera hilaris that are actually hilaris instead of the other ones that back there, which don't actually seem to be hilaris at all. Here's some more trinervias for you guys. And here are all of our seedling tuberous Drosera. These guys have only been growing for 5 months, but look how big they are. They've put in a lot of size. And this one over here is actually flowering. So it's incredible to see how quickly these guys actually do grow. Some people don't understand how quickly tuberous Droseras can grow. These guys, literally all of them, they were grown from seeds, all of them in this tray here. So you can see how much size they put on. Some of these guys at the back, they don't put on that much size, but they're still pretty big for only being grown for 5 months. And right over here, we have our Drosophilum Seedlings. Check how big it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 very healthy sprouts. This one here did sprout, and that one, but they both ended up dying because of their roots. And some of these other parts, they just didn't sprout at all. They might still sprout later on, because sometimes these guys take quite a while to actually sprout. But yeah, they are super big. These guys are probably like, what, a month and a half years old, a month and a half old now. So it just shows you how quickly they do actually grow. And eventually, when I have to move them into that super big terracotta pot, which we've had issues with before in the past too. So yeah, anyway, this is just a super simple update on all of our plants growing outside for you guys. As I said, they're growing super well now. If you guys remember, these plants were little specks. We couldn't see them when we first saw them germinating, but now we can actually see them. We can touch their little leaves and See the sticky stuff? So it's actually great to have our collection starting to grow now. So let's go back inside and sow up some more seeds.